Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Thursday, the 21st of September 2023. We'll be breaking down chart and show the exact zones for price to close above potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Wednesday, so the daily broke below the Tuesday daily low, broke above the Tuesday daily high, retested the weekly resistance, which early on the week we've anticipated for price to retest its weekly resistance simply because the last weekly candle closed weak bullish with a rejection to the downside. And obviously, as we can see, price retested this weekly resistance and retested the daily resistance and the daily rejection. And as we can see, price is rejecting the upside. More likely, the daily will be closing weak bearish with the rejection to the upside. And now to break down the chart. So let's have a look quickly on the weekly. Now the weekly is retracing. The monthly is retracing. Interesting. So when dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see we've had this decent 4-hour candle breaking above the highs, and then the whole move has been corrected after the FOMC press conference. And so what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 1928,700. The most recent 4-hour resistance formed around 1941,800. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, and now we can see we have this decent 1-hour support around 1928,700. Clean traffic on the left all the way up to this 1-hour resistance, so we need to identify something within this range. So when dropping down to the 5-minute time frame, again we haven't got any recent decent resistance on 5-minute time frame apart from this one above here. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, again we have a same level of support, and we have clean traffic on the left on the 15-minute time frame as well. So now to identify the no trade zone, and I'd say the first thing we could do here, since we have clean traffic on the left, we need to refer to, like, let's say the top of the wick for only hourly or the 4-hour time frame. The best thing to do is to go over the different time frames and try find what, like, basically a level where you could potentially look for potential buys. Now when looking at the 4-hour time frame, on the 4-hour we can clearly see we have this 4-hour high around 1933,600. Dropping down to the hourly, this is also the hourly high, but what we can see here is interesting. So what we're gonna do, let's have a look. Okay, since I was thinking maybe we could look for potential buys above 1936, but then if we did do that, we're missing on this clean candle to for price to move bullish. But in that case, what we're going to do here is we're going to look for potential buys above 1933,600 only during high volume time, and with a strong confirmation for price to break and close above this 1-hour high. So potential buys could be above 1933,600, and potential sells. Now let's see if we can adjust anything. So the first thing we can see here is we have this 4-hour low around 1927,600. Looking at the daily, this is the Wednesday daily low. Looking at the hourly time frame, this is a range. So I'd say the potential sells could be below 1927,600 as price break and close below this 1-hour range. And this is going to be the no trade zone. We're just going to put a rectangle in here just to identify this area as a no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys first, excuse me. So the first thing we can see here is clearly we can see price rejecting the upside. So the first thing we're going to mark off here is we're going to mark this rejection on the daily around 1947,400. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour recent resistance formed around 41,800. Looking at the hourly time frame, same thing, we have clean traffic all the way up to this previous 1-hour support. On the 5-minute time frame, that's the same, as well as the 15-minute time frame. I would say the first target for buys, now since we have this 4-hour resistance and we have clean traffic on the hourly, maybe we could have a target at 1941,800, targeting this previous 1-hour support for potential buys. And the second target for buys, now what we can see is we have a rejection on the daily. But before this rejection, let's have a look at what we can see on the 4-hour time frame. We have this previous 4-hour resistance where price rejected this area previously. So maybe what we could do here, because even when you look on the hourly, I mean, this becomes, let's have a look on the left, this becomes an hourly resistance. Actually, The second target for buys could potentially be 1946-700, targeting this hourly resistance. And now to look for potential sells and going back to the daily. And the first thing we can see here is, since price is rejecting the upside, price is respecting the weekly resistance. Maybe price is rejecting the upside to push bearish. Now what we're going to do here is, the first thing we're going to mark up here is we're going to mark up this weekly support formed around 19,700. Drop it down to the daily time frame. The daily, we have this previous daily resistance around 1922. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, zooming in, we have this 4-hour support around 1922 as well. Looking at the hourly time frame, we have a bottom of the range on the hourly time frame for an hourly support. I would say the first target for sells could potentially be 1922, targeting this 4-hour support. And the second target for sells, let's have a look on a daily. Actually, on a weekly. On a weekly, what we can see, we have this weekly support around 1918-300. Let's have a look on the daily time frame. A daily candle, clean traffic on the left. On the 4-hour time frame, again, we have clean traffic apart from these two candles closing small body candles. Maybe there was a reducing volume in here. So let's have a look on the hourly time frame. On the hourly time frame, however, we have a decent hourly support formed around 1917-300. And let's have a look on the 5-minute time frame. More likely will be the same as the 50-minute time frame as well. So I'd say the second target for sells could potentially be the hourly support. We're just gonna put this here. So the second target for sells could potentially be this hourly support formed around 1917-300.
Dominion Markets, your trading sanctuary.